Oh, did I tell you that I started learning the Hebrew alphabet this weekend?
Aleph, Bet, Dalet. Good times. Yeah.
It
Gamma.
is so difficult.
You know what? If you load a Greek alphabet, it's a lot like the Greek alphabet.
I know the Greek alphabet. I had to learn it when I was in high school because I pledged. You know how they have sororities for high schoolers?
I was in a frat in high school. Yep.
Yeah. So I had to learn it for that. So I know the Greek alphabet. I finally like if I see them, right,
Yeah.
I can say the Hebrew alphabet, but it's
Yeah.
the vowel sounds and then
Oh
it's
yeah.
the constructs
Then the
and the
codes and the yeah.
ah
Yeah. Once you get into the construction of the language, it can be because it's not very intuitive. Like, well, it's not if you because you speak English, it's not as what I'm saying. It doesn't go the way English would you would think it would.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm like the word for earth. I do not see how they got
X.
earth out of that. I can't like.
X.
I'm like where. So
X.
I don't know that I'm gonna be able. I got to figure out a way to where I'll be able to remember. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
some type of memorization.
Some of them are cognate, you know what I'm saying? And some of them you just kind of remember. Like the word for remember. You know what the word for remember is?
Mm-mm.
Zakar.
Okay.
Zakar. It's the root word of Zechariah, right?
Okay.
Which literally means Yahweh has remembered,
Okay.
right? Zechariah.
Mhm.
And a lot of them, like if you start with like names, you know what I'm saying? Because most of them are rooted that way. So if you look for like Zechariah or Daniel, right?
Mhm.
God is my judge. El, God, Dan, judge,
Okay.
right?
Oh, okay. So
Right.
that'll help me remember if I do the names.
If you find a
Okay.
name, like almost any name you see, just like look it up and see what it means.
Okay.
And then a lot of times you'll be like, okay, I can remember that. You know what I'm saying? And you'll kind of you'll see that word again. You go, okay, that's that word from Zechariah. But also, Zakar could also be a male lamb. I know, but just it
It,
is.
like yesterday when I was studying, I learned that key could mean
Good
because,
because
for,
yeah,
indeed,
hmm
that, when. So I'm like, how did they decide in Genesis 2:17 that it says, "For in the day that you eat of it, you will surely die," instead of "indeed the day you eat of it, you will surely die"? Because like it would make sense to me if indeed was used there because it's like definite. He's saying that if you eat
yeah.
of this tree, definitely you would die. So
hmm
like how did they decide that that word was for? Like how do you know which word to use?
Sometimes I when it comes to translations like that, because I don't know if there's anything in the sentence structure that will let you know that. Sometimes you have to just kind of give it to the prerogative of the translator,
Okay.
right? Because keep in mind, like if I say in or indeed, right, the surety is if I say for, right, or indeed, I mean the surety is implied, right? Like if
Mhm.
I say for when I speak, the world listens. I'm just using that as a sentence. The for means surely, right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
right. If I say this, then you know what I'm saying. Like when I say this, it's gonna happen. But I leave it up to
It's like kind of like saying indeed is what you're
kind of
saying.
like
It's
saying
implied.
indeed.
Okay.
Yeah,
So there's no
um,
need for them to have chosen their word, is
yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But some
Okay.
some prerogative of the other because maybe they thought it read better this way, or it was an easier sentence to say or whatever. Sometimes it's
Okay.
just that simple.
Okay. That makes sense. And then the the
Yeah.
cough, cough.
Cough,
Yeah.
cough. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
How do you say cough?
That little guttural. I forget what you call it. Yeah,
I can't. I don't know. I'm not gonna be able to say that letter. I'm just not like.
yeah. It's just a little H in front of your K. Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
just, I don't know. I
It's a
might
weird
have to
thing.
keep practicing it and like imagine like there's a loogie in my throat or something. I don't know. I don't know. But I've been
Yeah.
trying like all weekend. Then it's like with mem, right?
Mm-hmm.
It says that it's supposed to be nasally and then like
Mm-hmm.
a gurgle in the back of your throat, and I'm
Yeah.
like, how do you say M with like a like
I can't. I can't even say it. It's weird. It's weird. Let's just call it mem.
yeah,
Yeah.
because it's just gonna sound American when I say it. Like when
Yeah.
I talk, Hebrew's gonna sound American because I have no idea
You're the man.
how to make these sounds. But at least I'll know what the words mean. That's the best that I think I'll be able to do with it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm excited. The class starts January 11th, and so I'm
Where you taking?
excited.
Where you studying?
Dr. Bowen is teaching the class
Oh, where is he doing this?
on Zoom.
On
It's in the Discord.
Maybe I sign up for that.
Yeah, Mama Bash is in it.
You know, my mama gonna sign up for anything. That's one thing she gonna do. She gonna sign up.
We gonna be study buddies.
Yeah, good times. Yeah, I might slide in. She took
Yeah,
several Hebrew classes, but good to refresh it.
yeah, and she went live yesterday too.
She did. I was proud of
Yeah,
her.
yeah. So I can't wait to hop on her lives with her. We had a good live with Auntie Charlene yesterday. I think I cooked this guy so bad. I got a violation. Um, yeah, I cooked him a little bit too hard. Sometimes I think I cook too hard that I be feeling bad.
Man, I got kicked off of Christina's live the other day for
Why?
being. I was so nice. I did. Somebody in the audience just. I was frying, but I was so nice. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't say nothing negative to him, but I was frying him. Suspended.
Like it's I don't know. Like I don't know. I was thinking about your live that you did where you said you had lost faith in the faith community,
Yeah.
and I noticed that like this weekend there was like this big heavy like a blob feeling in my heart,
Mm,
and it's from the interactions with believers to where like literally they have convinced me 100% that they don't have anything special
mm,
because of like the ones that we've talked to, right? I'm not saying every believer in the world because I haven't talked to every believer, but the
yeah.
ones that we've talked to on TikTok have shown me a very different side of humanity. And like, you know, that evil exists, right?
Yeah.
And you think that evil exists in like serial killers,
Yeah.
right? People who are like, but you never really think about the subtle or the covert
Mm,
willing, you know what I'm saying?
mm,
Aspect of what's enabling evil to exist or to affect mankind, and
mm,
a lot of it is our I don't even know how to put it in words, but it's our negotiation. That's all I can think about is
mm,
the way we're willing to negotiate and with ourselves and treat each other. Like they have literally introduced me to a different side of humanity
mm.
that's like literally got my heart broken.
I know the feeling that, and that's exactly why I did that live, man. It's because it's like you get to a place where you're just like, oh man, I didn't know you saw the world that way,
Hmm.
right? I didn't know anybody saw the world like that,
Yeah.
right? And I really think that it needs to be studied. I was talking, who was I talking? I think I was talking to Christina, and we were talking about like that point in a conversation where you know that person just, I got to turn my logic off because if I keep going down this way, I'm gonna reach a logical conclusion that I don't want to reach. Like,
Hmm.
and it's like, are you doing that consciously, right? Like, are you doing it on purpose, or is there just something like, you know how like if you go through a trauma, sometimes your brain will literally block it off,
Yeah.
right? And you just won't remember it, your brain, because your brain is trying to help you. And I'm like, man, is this like a trauma response? Like, are you purposely doing this, or is this just a reaction, like just a reflex? I need to stop this because this makes me uncomfortable. Or I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, I feel that. I feel that heaviness of heart.
Yeah. And it's like what like good and you know, like you feel powerless, right? You can't do much about it, right? So I don't know. I noticed it this weekend and I was like, damn.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Well, we had 30. Where now? What church we on?
31.
31. I thought I said 38. I was about to get really excited. Okay, 31, 31.
Yeah.
30, I think
This one
38 is
is
my
kind of
favorite chapter.
crazy too.
Yeah.
Really? What's
It's either
38?
38 or 39 with Tamar. That's my favorite chapter.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah, that's your favorite
that's
chapter.
my favorite chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. This one is kind of crazy too.
Yeah,
But all right. Welcome to everybody that's watching us stream live right now. Appreciate you for being here. What's up, TT?
thank y'all.
What's up, Divinely Autistic? Um, thank y'all so much for hitting the subscribe button and make sure that you share it out. Let people know that we are in here streaming live. I know Mezzo's still live right now, so a lot of people are still in there.
But we do
When you
appreciate y'all
find
for
out
being here.
common sense is a myth. Yeah. What do you say?
I just saying I appreciate y'all for being in here. We only a few more subscribers away, guys. If you hit that subscribe button, we almost at 1,000. We appreciate y'all so much, man.
Yeah. All right. So Jacob is about to flee
Okay.
Laban, which is odd because last week he went and told Laban, "Hey, I'm about to leave. Give me my wages so I can leave." This week he's on the run. It's odd. Okay, so Genesis chapter 31. Now Jacob heard that the sons of Laban were saying, Jacob has taken all that was our father's. He has gained all this wealth from what belonged to our father. And Jacob saw that Laban did not regard him as favorably as he did before. Then the Lord said to Jacob, return to the land of your ancestors and to your kindred, and I will be with you. So Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah into the field where his flock was, and said to them, I see that your father does not regard me as favorably as he did before, but the God of my father has been with me. You know that I have served your father with all my strength, yet your father has cheated me and changed my wages 10 times. But God did not permit him to harm me. If he said, the speckled shall be your wages, then all the flock bore speckled. And if he said, the striped shall be your wages, then all the flock bore striped. Thus God has taken away the livestock of your father and given them to me. When did this happen? When did this happen?
I guess that just happened during the process of time. I don't know. I don't know. 10 times. I don't remember hearing 10. I remember one where he went in there and they tried to hide
Mhm.
Laban tried to hide the other sheep, or whatever. And then that's why he went out there and started mating the other sheep. Because Laban had come in at night and taken out all the speckled sheep. Remember that part?
Mhm.
But other than that, he basically had said the speckled sheep are yours.
Yeah, the way he's saying it though is like the when whatever Laban said, the
Yeah,
sheep would change.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like divination almost.
Almost. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like it's weird. During the mating of the flock, I once had a dream in which I looked up and saw that the male goats that leaped upon the flock were striped, speckled, and mottled. Then the angel of God said to me in the dream, Jacob, and I said, Here I am. And he said, Look up and see that all the goats that leap on the flock are striped, speckled, and mottled, for I have seen all that Laban is doing to you. For I am the God of Bethel, where you anointed a pillar and made a vow to me. Now leave this land at once and return to the land of your birth. Then Rachel and I thought he was already in the land of his birth. That his
I was
oh
about to say
he and
that.
his mom.
Okay, what's crazy is this is he's currently in the land of his forefathers. He's in the land of his ancestors.
Okay.
But he's saying, I'm going back to the land of my ancestors. Right? But keep in mind,
Mhm,
the reason that he's there in the first place is because his mama said, go back to the land of your ancestors. Right?
mhm.
So now he's going back to where his daddy is, and he's calling that the land of his ancestors.
That's weird, ain't it?
Yeah. Yeah, he's calling his birth the place where he was born, the land of his ancestors. But the reason that he's here in the first place is because his mama said, "Hey, go back to where your ancestors from." That's how he
Mhm.
ended up here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Then Rachel and Leah answered him, Is there any portion or inheritance left to us in our father's house? Are we not regarded by him as foreigners? For he has sold us and he has been using up the money given for us. All the property that God has taken away from our father belongs to us and to our children. Now then, do whatever God has said to you. So Laban was using the kids' inheritance.
amen. Hey, yeah, blowing
Oh
money
God.
fast. Blowing money fast on
Mm,
Laban's side. Yeah,
Laban was a bad father. So Jacob arose. Well, he was bad with money at least.
at
So
least.
Jacob arose and set his children and his wives on camels, and he drove away all his livestock, all the property that he had gained, the livestock in his possession that he had acquired in Padam Aram, to go to his father Isaac in the land of Canaan. Now Laban had gone to shear his sheep, and Rachel stole her father's household gods. And Jacob deceived Laban the Aramean in that he did not tell him that he intended to flee. So he fled with all that he had. Starting out, he crossed the Euphrates and set his face towards the hill country of Gilead. So why is he fleeing now? That's what I don't understand. If he like he was the plan was for him to leave anyway, right?
Yeah, the plan was from Levi. I feel like he's fleeing because he just, that, it got tense between Laban and him. So I think he just kind of fleeing this tensity. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, the tension. I said tensity. Yeah, the tension.
Okay. On the third day, Laban was told that Jacob had fled. Do you hear that?
Mm-mm. What is it?
Like an echo?
I don't hear echo. You hear one? I don't hear one.
Okay. On the third day, Laban was told that Jacob had fled. So he took his kinsfolk with him and pursued him for 7 days until he caught up with him in the hill country of Gilead. But God came to Laban the Aramean in a dream by night and said to him, "Take heed that you say not a word to Jacob, either good or bad." Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the hill country, and Laban with his kinsfolk camped in the hill country of Gilead. Laban said to Jacob, "What have you done? You have deceived me and carried away my daughters like captives of the sword. Why did you flee secretly and deceive me and not tell me? I would have sent you away with mirth and songs, with tambourine and lyre. And why did you not permit me to kiss my sons and my daughters farewell?" What sons did Jacob take?
I'm assuming he's considered his grandsons as sons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Uh, what you have done is foolish. It is in my power to do you no harm, but the God of your father spoke to me last night, saying, "Take heed that you speak to Jacob neither good nor bad." Even though you had to go because you longed greatly for your father's house, why did you steal my gods? Jacob answered Laban, "Because I was afraid, for I thought that you would take your daughters from me by force. But anyone with whom you find your gods shall not live. In the presence of our kinsfolk, point out what I have that is yours and take it." Now Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen the gods. So Laban went into Jacob's tent and into Leah's tent and into the tent of the two maids, but he did not find them. And he went out of Leah's tent and entered Rachel's. Now Rachel had taken the household gods and put them in the camel's saddle and sat on them. Laban fell all about in the tent, but did not find them. And she said to her father, "Let not my lord be angry that I cannot rise before you, for the way of the woman is upon me." So he searched, but did not find the household gods. Then Jacob became angry and upbraided Laban. Jacob said to Laban, just let me know. Let me know if you want me to stop. Okay.
Okay.
What is my offense? What is my sin that you have hotly pursued me? Although you have felt about through all my goods, what you have found of all your household goods, set it here before my kinsfolk and your kinsfolk, so that they may decide between us two. These 20 years I have been with you, your ewes and your female goats have not miscarried, and I have not eaten the rams of your flocks. That which was torn by wild beasts I did not bring to you. I bore the loss of it myself. Of my hand you required it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. It was like this with me by day. The heat consumed me, and the cold by night, and my sleep fled away from my eyes. These 20 years I have been in your house. I served you 14 years for your two daughters, and 6 years for your flock, and you have changed my wages 10 times. If the God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac, that's new. The fear of Isaac
Yeah.
had not been on my side, surely now you would have sent me away empty-handed. God saw my affliction and the labor of my hands and rebuked you last night. Then Laban answered and said to Jacob, "The daughters are my daughters, the children are my children, the flocks are my flocks, and all that you see is mine. But what can I do today about these daughters of mine or about their children whom they have borne? Come now, let us make a covenant, you and I, and let it be a witness between you and me." So Jacob took a stone and set it up as a pillar. And Jacob said to his kinsfolk, gather stones. And they took stones and made a heap, and they ate there by the heap. Laban called it Jagar Sahad Sahad Uta, and Jacob called it Galeed. Laban said, this heap is a witness between you and me today. Therefore he called it Galeed and the pillar Mizpah. And he said, the Lord watch between you and me when we are absent one from the other. If you ill treat my daughter, or if you take wives in addition to my daughters, though no one else is with us, remember that God is witness between you and me. Then Laban said to Jacob, see this heap and see the pillar which I have set between you and me. This heap is a witness, and the pillar is a witness that I will not pass beyond this heap to you, and you will not pass beyond this heap and this pillar to me for harm. May the God of Abraham and the God of Nahor judge between us. So Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac. And Jacob offered a sacrifice on the height and called his kinsfolk to eat bread. And they ate bread and tarried all night in the hill country. Early in the morning, Laban rose up and kissed his grandchildren, his daughters, and blessed them. Then he departed and returned home. What is this fear of Isaac? This is my first time noticing that.
It's just like put them on your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Like just you know, he's swearing by, if it's just like just swearing by your daddy.
Oh, like I it's odd because like he's not saying that the God of Isaac, like he's saying the God of Abraham, but he's not saying that God of Isaac. So
Yeah,
I thought because it's in capital, I thought maybe it's another God that's hidden.
I don't think so. I don't think
Mm.
that word. I don't think so, but I look into it. I think it's just the word fear. I think it really is just the word fear.
Oh, okay. I wonder why they capitalized it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what are your thoughts on this story?
The, first off, just the classic "May the Lord watch."
Hmm.
It's always funny when people like uh, say that sentence, and they treat it like a blessing, but it's really not a blessing. It's more of a threat. But we used to end our church services like that.
We did,
Yeah, yeah.
and basically they're saying it. Laban is saying, and Jacob is saying, if you cross this pillar, then I'm gonna get you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. That's crazy. We said, may the Lord watch between you and me, between you and me.
Wow,
While
that's
we're, yeah.
yep.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Um, and then so Rachel steals the gods, and Jacob says, whoever has your belongings, they shall not live. So is God being deceitful here with, like, God knows that Rachel has these gods, right? He doesn't like make Jacob follow through with his oath.
Say that one more time. Say that last sentence one more time.
So Rachel has Laban's gods,
Yes,
right? And God knows she has them, right?
yes.
God knows that Jacob made this oath that whoever has taken the gods
Put them
shall
to death.
not live.
Yeah,
But God doesn't make Jacob follow through on that oath. He just stays quiet.
yeah, yeah. And does anything end up happening with? I don't think that nothing happens with those. Yeah, I think she just kind of keep them, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You would
yeah.
think that the God, since he was so angry about, idolatry with the Israelites, you would think that he wouldn't want Laban's gods in
Anywhere
Jacob's
around.
house.
Yeah, yeah. But he definitely took them. I mean,
Th-
he definitely accepted it, right? And it doesn't seem like he was mad about it at all. Helped her get out of there with him.
Yeah.
Uh,
She lied about being on her period.
yeah. I like the way of the woman. It sounds like a movie. The way of the woman is upon me. I like that phrase.
The way of the woman.
The way of the woman. Rated R.
It does sound like a movie though, for real.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that phrase. I like that.
Um yeah, I think this chapter is just more of Jacob's deceit. Jacob and Laban deceiving each other, like just a back and forth
Yeah,
between it. I don't see anything too, I don't
too
know.
crazy.
Yeah.
I find it weird that, like, okay, keep in mind the reason that he's in town is because his mom, the reason he was up there for them last 20 years is because his mama said, please go up here and marry some folk, because I just couldn't have it no other way. Like, you just got to marry some folk from where we from, right? Like,
Mhm.
just go up there and do that. And then he gets up there, and the people where he's from are like really deceitful, right? Like, whatever beef him and Laban got, he tricked him out of his wife the first time, right?
Yeah.
He got another wife, 7 more years of work, right? Then he's like, okay, I'm gonna take more. Okay, give me 6 more years of work. So you've been up there 20 years working for this man. And I don't know how, the thing with the sheep, whatever. Y'all going back and forth about sheep, blah, blah, blah. You say, okay, I'm gonna leave. He go, wait, why are you leaving? Well, why you think I'm leaving? Right? Like, clearly you don't really rock with me like that. Like, this was just the most contentious situation of like, neither one of them could really trust each other. And it's
Yeah.
so much to the fact that they had to make a pillar between them and say, okay, I'm just gonna stay on this side. You never gonna see your children again. You never gonna see your grandchildren again. I'm gonna stay on this side of this rock. And don't you come past this side of this rock, and I won't come past this side of this rock. Right? Like, so like a real detaching of a family. Like, this family officially just don't even exist no more. Right? Because you're not gonna run into Laban, I don't think, ever again. I don't think you're gonna hear his name anymore. Right. And I feel like that's so weird. Like, what was the big hush? What was the big hurry to get you up there? Right. Like, and you've been gone 20 years.
Right.
Yeah. Like, your folk ain't even, where your folk at? What they doing?
But it seemed like he learned his deceit. He had to have learned it since this is his mama's family, and she was deceitful. Like it was her whole idea, right, for him to steal Esau's inheritance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so she taught him how to be deceitful. It seemed like.
Yeah. Yeah. And they was up there shucking each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like everywhere they go, they running it's a scam. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Yeah.
every time they scamming each other out of something, it's like the family way. Mhm.
But it also is interesting that Jacob says that he's blessed because he has divine favor from the God, right? He's
Yeah.
like God is blessing him while he's here, even while Laban is being deceitful, right?
Yeah.
Jacob is calling his manipulation and his deceitfulness
A blessing.
divine favor
Yeah.
from God.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing. And I think that goes to like uh okay. My mom will tell you this story too. But you ever go to like a grocery store or something, and you get a bunch of groceries and you ring them up, and then you get outside and you realize you didn't pay for something. You ever
Hmm.
happened to you?
Yeah.
My mom used to call that a blessing, and she was dead serious because she didn't intend to steal it, but she got it for free. She thought of that as a blessing. But if anybody had done that to her, they
She
just
wouldn't see it as a blessing.
yeah, right. Which says to me that your position in a theology is kind of what makes a thing, quote unquote, good or bad, right?
Hmm.
Like the action in and of itself, you don't think of it as good or bad. But if it's good to you, then there must be the favor of God. No matter who it hurt, no matter
Yeah.
how you got it,
Hmm. Like somebody find $20 on the ground, they're like, "Oh, God bless me with $20." But then that person that lost the $20, like so I gave my mom $200 for Christmas, right?
Mm-hmm.
She told me to put it on her dresser.
Okay.
Now, granted, everybody in the house was family. I think we had maybe two or three people there that were not family. People bringing their girlfriends, boyfriends for the first time.
Okay.
But the money is gone, so I had to give her $200 again. Like she does not know what happened to the money.
I would have pulled a
Right.
Laban. I would have pulled a Laban. Lock the door. Let me look under your camels. I need to look under your camels.
Like, and she doesn't let people go in her room. So I don't know if she accidentally threw it away or whatever, but like let's say if it fell, right?
Yeah.
And somebody found $200, like for them, that's a blessing. For me, I'm like, damn, I'm out of
$200.
400.
That's $200.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
really 400 because I
yeah,
gave 200 now, and then I
yeah,
had to give her another 200 to make up for the 200 she lost.
yeah.
And so I'm like, damn, I'm out of $400. So it's not a blessing for me.
Nope,
Um, and like, yeah, so I get what you're saying.
not a blessing at all for you. Yeah. So yeah,
Mm-mm.
that's one of the things that I see, and you're gonna kind of see another one more thing. Just kind of, I don't know. I don't even know what implication it's got. But as you see in this particular story, that each of these men are kind of pitching themselves as the abused one, right? You took
Yeah.
advantage of me. You took advantage of me. You took, right, right, and I feel like that's just a weird posturing to have, like, because both of them see themselves as the victim here,
Hmm.
right? When in actuality, on the both of them basically got what they needed, right? So Jacob could say, well, your flock didn't go bad, and da da. I didn't eat this, da da da. And then my man said, well, you got kids out of the deal. You walked up, you got all this stuff. All this could have been mine, But they both kind of postured themselves as the victims here, right? They made up a victimhood here. Both of
Yeah.
them did, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
I just want to bring it up.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting that he's like your God came to my dream. Like he don't it's not his God,
Right.
He's like your daddy's God or your father's God came into my dream last
That
night. He
is,
told me not to whoop your ass. You know what I'm saying? He told me not to say nothing to you. He saved you,
yeah. 'Cause I was
right?
gonna tell you it's up. Like, it's up, chief.
But he didn't say nothing to Jacob.
Nah, didn't
Yeah,
even want to talk about that. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, that was a cool little chapter. You want to do one more?
yeah, yeah.
All right.
Okay. This is the verse, chapter 32. Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. When Jacob saw them, he said, "This is God's camp." So he called the place Mahanaim. Jacob sent messengers before him to his brother Esau in the land of Seir, the country of Edom, instructing them, "Thus you shall say to my lord Esau, Thus says your servant Jacob, I have lived with Laban as an alien and stayed until now, and I have oxen, donkeys, flocks, male and female slaves, and I have sent to tell my lord in order that I may find favor in your sight." The messengers returned to Jacob, saying, "We came to your brother Esau, and he is coming to meet you, and 400 men are with him." Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people who were with him and the flocks and herds and camels into two companies, thinking, "If Esau comes to the one company and destroys it, then the company that is left will escape." And Jacob said, "O God of my father Abraham and God of my father Isaac, O Lord, who said to me, 'Return to your country and to your kindred, and I will do you good.' I am not worthy of the least of all the steadfast love and all the faithfulness that you have shown to your servant. For with only my staff I crossed this Jordan, and now I have become two companies. Deliver me, please, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I am afraid of him. He may come and kill us all, the mothers with the children. Yet you have said, I will surely do you good and make your offspring as the sand of the sea, which cannot be counted because of their number." So he spent that night there, and from what he had with him, he took a present for his brother Esau: 200 female goats and 20 male goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 milch camels and their colts, 40 cows and 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys and 10 male donkeys. Then he delivered into the hand of his servants every drove by itself, and he said to his servants, "Pass on ahead of me and put a space between drove and drove." He instructed the one in the lead, "When Esau, my brother, meets you and asks you, 'To whom do you belong? Where are you going? And whose are these ahead of you?' Then you shall say, 'They belong to your servant Jacob. They are a present sent to my lord Esau, and moreover, he is behind us.'" He likewise instructed the second and the third, and all who followed the droves. "You shall say the same thing to Esau when you meet him, and you shall say, 'Moreover, your servant Jacob is behind us. For he thought, I may appease him with the present that goes ahead of me, and afterwards I shall see his face. Perhaps he will accept me.' So the present passed on ahead of him, and he himself spent the night in the camp. The same. The same night he got up and took his 2 wives, his 2 maids, and his 11 children, and crossed the ford of the Jabbok. He took them and sent them across the stream, and likewise everything that he had. Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until daybreak. When the man saw that he did not prevail against Jacob, he struck him on the hip socket, and Jacob's hip was put out of joint, and he wrestled with him. Then he said, "Let me go, for the day is breaking." But Jacob said, "I will not let you go until you bless me." So he said to him, "What is your name?" And he said, "Jacob." Then the man said, "You shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel, for you have striven with God and with humans and have prevailed." Then Jacob asked him, "Please tell me your name." But he said, "Why is it that you ask my name?" And there he blessed him. So Jacob called the place Peniel, saying, "For I have seen God face to face, yet my life is preserved." The sun rose upon him as he passed Penuel, limping because of his hip. Therefore, to this day, the Israelites do not eat the thigh muscle that is on the hip socket, because he struck Jacob on the hip socket at the thigh muscle.
Pretty weird story.
Yeah. So wait. So here's one question that I have.
Okay.
If you know how people say, how Christians say that it wasn't God that Jacob actually wrestled with, but an angel.
Yeah.
So then why do they then say God changed Jacob's name to Israel?
Well, because Jacob said he saw the face of God.
Hmm.
It's just one. It's one of those strange things.
It's like they trying to have their cake and eat it too.
Yes, yes. It's a P and not P. It's a right. Like yeah, yeah. Because Jacob said, "I saw the face of God." Right, which
Hmm.
is why he named the place Penuel. Right. Um. But it does say it was a man. Right. And
Hmm.
so somebody might say that wasn't God. It was an angel. But Jacob thought it was God. So yeah,
So, and if they say that it wasn't God, it was an angel, then it wasn't God who named him Israel. It's an
it
angel.
wasn't right. It was an angel that named him Israel. But Jacob said it was God, or
Yeah.
at least Jacob said he saw the face of God that night. And I'm yeah, I've heard that when he said he saw the face of God, that wasn't necessarily about that angel or that
Hmm.
man, because it doesn't even say it was an angel. It just says it was a man,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, it's not really concise in that situation. So people just kind of take whatever they will out of it, and they put the angel there when they wanted there. They put God there when they wanted there. They put a man
Yeah.
when they wanted there. Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah. But and I think the story, just the fact that Jacob didn't have like this reaction, right?
yeah,
Uh outside of, normally wrestling with a man or seeing another human, there's no weird reaction from him to make anybody think that he was anything but human,
yeah,
or that he looked anything but human.
yeah,
Um in the story.
yeah. And the fact that they wrestled all night is, I mean, like, what's going on with that? Like, why did they wrestle?
Right.
For what? You know what I'm
Because
saying? Like,
Jacob probably did something fucked up. Like, he was a deceitful person. Like, dude was probably, something Jacob probably made him mad. And
yeah,
then, like, Jacob did get the best of him, right?
yeah.
And then the fact, well, I guess the fact that he struck him on the hip, did he use magic to strike him on the hip?
Or maybe just
Or did
kicked
he
him in
pick up
the
something?
head. Yeah, yeah. Maybe just got him with a good left right. I don't know. He knocked it out of joint. So whatever he hit him with, it was a good lick. But
Yeah, because it doesn't necessarily say he used like power or anything, does
yeah,
it?
nah, he just knocked it out. I mean, I guess you can knock somebody hip out of place, right? Like I want, yeah, yeah. I guess
And
you could, yeah,
and then he's even more at this point, is he being greedy, or when he's like, "I'm not gonna let you go until you bless me," because he's already done taken everything from Laban, right?
hmm,
He's wealthy already, right?
yeah,
He's got 2 wives, 2 maids, 11 children, sheep, oxen, servants,
yeah,
right? And he has this covenant with his father's God.
yeah,
He's like, "You'll be my God as long as you bless me. Like, as long as you do these things, you'll be my God." So then
yeah,
he meets this person, this guy, right? Whether it's God or an angel. And he's like shaking him down, and he's like, "I'm not gonna let you go until you bless me." And it's like he's greedy at this point.
Yeah, and I think it's weird that he had sent everybody ahead of him because the point of him sending people ahead of him was so that he wouldn't have to fight.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah.
The whole point of him sending folk ahead of him, that first little pack of folk, was he said, okay, if they get killed, right, then the second drove might get a chance to run, right? But he
Hmm.
didn't even run with the second drove, so still he they could get a chance to run. Not necessarily that they could run; they would at least have a shot at running. He stayed behind even that, right? Which means he didn't want no parts of the smoke in that situation. But then after he do all of that to stay away from, running into that fight, he gets into this fight.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you
Well,
sent your wife and children out there, you didn't even go out there. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
how it says the same night he got up, took his two wives, his two maids, and his 11 children and crossed the ford. He took them and sent them across the stream with everything else that he had. And then he
Yeah.
said, yeah,
Right. So he sent them over there again, trying to stay away from the fight. He sent the gifts over, and he thought, okay, well, if they descend on them, at least the second drover had the option of running. Right. He had said that is just a little while ago. That's why he split everything up.
hmm,
Right. And then it's like, okay, well, just because they ran don't mean they're gonna get away. That's one. Two, if that was the running, if the point was for them to run, why you ain't run with them?
exactly.
Yeah. He stayed back, figured, well, if they run, maybe that'll be all of them, and I might not have nothing left, but I still be alive. But you sent your wife and kids, or your wives and kids.
But it seems like he had to have known that the person he was wrestling with could bless him. Like that's why I think he was up to no good. And like he sent them ahead so they either wouldn't see what he was doing to get blessed,
Yeah.
or that so that they don't get blessed too. Like something. Because for him to say, the guy is like, let me go. And he's like, I'm not letting you go until you bless me. So he had to it feels like this is something deceitful that he set up.
Or maybe this is another part from another story.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
gotta
like
be.
because it doesn't make sense because you don't know this man. This man pops up out of nowhere, right? So it would seem like, who is this man? Why did this man pop up on Jacob for what? Right?
Exactly.
And you're right. How did he know that that person had a blessing available? He could just been a poor guy. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe that comes from another story.
Yeah, or they just wrote it in to say this is why we're called Israel. You know what I'm
This is
saying?
true too. This is true too.
Yeah, like an origin story,
Yeah.
and of him changing his name from because like when we talk about Jacob being the deceiver, I still think he's a deceiver even after his name was changed to Israel because I think he did something deceitful here
Yeah.
because it just like why are
Yeah.
you
It's weird.
saying I'm not
It's
gonna
weird.
let you go until you bless me? Something there's something deceitful going on right here, but maybe it could just be the
It's definitely
origin story.
a ideology. This is
Mm.
why he's called Israel. That gives a. But and a lot of times these kinds of ideologies, kind of like when you change from Abram to Abraham or Sarai to Sarah. A lot of times those etiologies come from this. Um, what am I trying to say? Like people have two different traditions, right?
Mhm.
So like again, I use this one all the time. I'm from Birmingham, right? Birmingham is named after a city in England. Okay. In England, they don't say Birmingham. They say Birmingham, right?
Mhm.
We say Birmingham. They say Birmingham, right? So same, it's spelled the exact same way. My city is named after that city. Well, actually, my city is named after a guy named Birmingham, but he was an English guy. From I don't know if he was from Birmingham, but that's how you say it in London, Birmingham, right?
Mhm.
Well, we say it two different ways. So if I was trying to like synchronize those ways, I would write a story to say, "Oh, it used to be called Birmingham, but now we pronounce it Birmingham because we fought with an angel, and the angel said it this way." Right?
Yeah.
Right. That's why Abram became Abraham, or right, because y'all used to say it this way. We saying it this way now, and we're gonna
Oh,
etch
okay.
that in stone, and this is why we say it that way.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Let me make sure that pineal is not that type of it's not the
It's,
pineal gland,
it's
right?
Penuel, right?
Pineal, right?
Penuel.
But
Yeah.
I've seen people on social media make videos saying that this is like the pineal.
No, no, no.
This is the
Panu means
etymology of
face.
pineal.
No, Panu means face. El means God. Right. It
Okay.
literally means face of God.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so it's pronounced Penuel.
Yeah. Penuel.
Okay. And so I see in the text it's spelled Penuel,
Mm.
and the heading is Peniel. So that's why I was asking, is it like, did it change?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But keep in mind, like Hebrew vowel pointings can sometimes people, again, almost like we talk about now, people pronounce it differently. I I've always read it Penuel, Penuel,
Mm-hmm.
right? But some people will call it Peniel, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
Peniel. Some people pronounce it that way. But I think that's just more of a pronunciation thing than it is a, like in England when they spell the word color, there's a U in it, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. But it's like, well, color. What the fuck is that? Color. What the fuck is that? But you're just saying color.
Okay. And so this has absolutely nothing to
This has
do with the
nothing to do with the
pineal
Peniel.
thing.
Not at
Okay.
all.
All right.
Yeah.
I see so many freaking videos about that. And I
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that that was not that. And then the Esau thing. So the gifts, is this the next chapter where Esau like forgives him and hugs him?
Yeah.
Is that,
Falls on his neck. Yeah.
uh-huh. Okay. And so he sends Esau half of his wealth. Is that what he does here?
I don't say necessarily have, but
Oh, okay.
a good portion of it, right? But the thing about it is, which lets you know he had done something fucked up,
Yeah.
because he was scared his brother was gonna kill him,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like if I run into my brother, he gonna kill me. Well, why he gonna kill you? I kind of fucked him over. You know what I'm saying? I fucked him over royally, right? So, he's trying to buy his way out of that, and then when he sent the gifts, and then went and prayed, you know what I'm saying? Like he knew he had done something fucked up.
Yeah.
He knew it. Yeah.
And that's why I have a hard time, like when they be like, "Oh, God had to do it this way because he was chosen." Like God knew that Jacob had done something bad to Esau, and then for him to say, "Jacob, I love Esau, I hate it." Like it's hard for me to get past. Like explain why your God would side with a deceiver over somebody instead of doing the right thing and
Yeah.
protecting the one, and then
That did the right thing.
continuing to hate the one who was done wrong. Like it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, yeah. Because in that story, Esau really didn't do anything wrong.
Uh-uh. Except
Yeah,
wanting to eat.
except wanting to eat and trying to fix his daddy a plate. That's all he did.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like the logic, like we there was a guy on Miss Charlene's live yesterday who literally said that if he could not side with God when God um sided with Abraham over the Abimelech,
Hmm.
he said that if he couldn't side with God with that, um he would unalive himself.
Wow.
And it's like he's like he was like, I agree with you. It's wrong. He was like, I don't know why God sided with Abraham and his deception and was willing to kill the Abimelech when he was acting in integrity. He was like, but if I can't side with God, if I can't see the righteousness in what God does, then I'm just gonna unalive myself. Then he went a step further and said, and I'm gonna unalive everybody right along with me. We was like, well, you gotta go, bro. We was like, keep God. We was like, but you gotta go. But
You
the
ever heard that? Ever heard that song on Instagram? That rapper be like, "Keep God in your life." Fuck nigga, keep God in your life. You ever heard?
uh-uh.
I said to you, yeah, you need to keep God in his life because it ain't gonna be safe for nobody. Yeah, that's right.
It's like if I can't see the good in the deception, like if you can't let me just say, but that's God. I see the deception, but it's got to be something good in it. Then I'm just gonna blow everybody up. It was like,
That's
whoa,
crazy. That
yeah,
that's the kind of stuff that made me lose faith in people with faith. That
yeah,
kind,
hmm
because at least he was honest enough to say, I think that is wrong, but I just can't. Like that's a pure cognitive dissonance. Like you see that that's wrong, and you know that you see that that's wrong, but you just can't bring your like the conclusions don't follow, and that's a weird way of thinking.
yeah,
Like that's a weird way of thinking because that means you've had to detach yourself from reality, and
hmm
that's really crazy.
it's scary as hell.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. I hope he find the help he need, bro, because that's Crazy.
He just need to keep going,
Keep
and,
God.
and nobody needs to deconstruct his behind.
Yeah, man. Because I
Yeah.
would, yeah, crazy.
But this and the scary thing is like you negotiate. You're willing to negotiate with morality. You're willing to negotiate with what's good uh or bad to human towards humankind, as long as it's God. And I asked him, like, how do you know when somebody is telling you that God said do this? Because he said that God gives him instructions every day to do things.
Okay.
And now he wouldn't tell me the things that he's saying God gives him instructions to do. And I was like, well, how do you know that God is telling the people that saying God said go do this, God said go do that, that they're actually hearing from God? And he was like, I just trust that they are.
See,
That's scary.
see. Yeah, that's a wild. Again, you're detaching yourself from all reason and logic at that point, right? You just saying it must be because it must be. Like, with yeah, that's a weird place to be, man. That's
Yeah.
a weird place to be. That's a weird place. Yeah,
Yeah. I agree.
yeah, man, that's crazy. Man, this was fun. We got
Yep.
2 chapters done today. That's good.
Awesome.
I
And
just
then
got.
we're gonna be at 1,000 before the next show.
We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. We what we do 20. How many for we are? Wait, 23?
22.
22. All right, we're cooking on
Hmm.
down.
Yeah.
22. We can do it. We can do 22 this week.
Yeah.
I'm going out of town tomorrow. I'm gonna be on an island for a couple of days, but I'll be back end of the week.
Okay. Look at you.
Little vacation. My mom was proud of me for taking a vacation. This will be my second vacation in my whole life as an
In
adult.
your whole life,
As in my adult life, yeah.
as in
I'll
your
take
adult life.
yeah, I'll take vacation.
Wow. Yeah, you need it. I hope you enjoy yourself. Are you unplugging from the grid?
I'll be around, but I probably won't be like on live or nothing. But I
Okay.
mean, my phone will be on. You know what I'm saying? So if
Well,
y'all need me, hit me up.
okay. Get some rest, enjoy yourself, soak it all in,
Yeah,
and we'll see you when you get back.
yeah. I'm happy. I'm happy that you're gonna come down and check out the listening part. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank
Good
you.
times, man.
Thank you for the invite.
Oh man, fun time.
Honored,
You,
honored.
to the rest of you guys, man, good to see y'all. I hope y'all have a good Sunday, and we'll see y'all on live.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Thank y'all so much. Before you leave, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Turn your notification on and make sure you hit share if you're already a subscriber. I hope y'all have a good one. Thank y'all.